You know, sometimes life has this uncanny way of pulling you in a direction you didn't even realize you needed. And here you are, right here, right now, watching this video. Let's take a moment to think about that because, honestly, that's not just a random coincidence. Out of the billions of pieces of content out there, you're here with me. Something brought you here, and whether you call it destiny, intuition, or just a gut feeling, I believe there's a reason for it. Maybe you've been looking for answers or reassurance, or maybe you're feeling stuck, weighed down by the chaos of life, and you're hoping to find something, anything, that lights the way forward. Whatever brought you here, I'm going to tell you this. You didn't stumble upon this moment by accident. Life has this way of whispering to us, doesn't it? A quiet nudge, a soft pull, something you can't quite explain but feel deep down. It's almost as if the universe, or God, or whatever force you believe in, has been trying to get your attention. Think about it. When was the last time you felt this kind of synchronicity? Like things were lining up in a way you couldn't have planned yourself. That's not random, that's purpose. You might be thinking, okay, but how do you know this moment matters? How do you know this is for me? And my answer is simple, because you're here, and that alone is proof. Maybe this is the message you've been waiting for, that tiny spark meant to remind you of who you are and why you're here. Or maybe it's the wake-up call you didn't even know you needed. But let's dive deeper. Let's really unpack what this moment could mean for you, because if we're honest, life gets busy, distracting, overwhelming. It's so easy to feel like you're just going through the motions. Wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. Days blend into weeks, and before you know it, you're wondering where the time went. Sound familiar? But here's the thing about moments like this one. They have the power to break the cycle. This could be your divine interruption. Maybe this is the pause you didn't realize you needed, the sign you've been overlooking. What if this is the universe saying, hey, slow down, pay attention, I've got something important to show you. Because let's face it, life doesn't always scream at us. It doesn't always put neon signs in our path. More often than not, it's a gentle whisper, a quiet nudge, a small moment that could easily pass you by if you're not paying attention. And let's be real, how often do we actually listen to that voice, that inner tug? We get so caught up in the noise, in our schedules, in the expectations placed on us by others. We silence that little voice inside, convincing ourselves it's nothing. But what if that voice is everything? What if that voice is the key to unlocking something bigger, something more fulfilling, more aligned with who you're truly meant to be? Take a second to reflect on your life. Right now, in this very moment, what's weighing on you? What's been lingering in the back of your mind? That dream you've been putting off, that decision you're too scared to make, that feeling that you're meant for something more, but you don't know where to start. Does any of that sound like you? If it does, then maybe, just maybe, this is the universe's way of saying, it's time. Time for what, though? Time to step out of the comfort zone you've built for yourself. Time to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it. Time to stop doubting your worth, your potential, your purpose. Because let me tell you something, if you've been searching for a sign, this is it. But here's the truth, and it's a tough one. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you the life you dream of on a silver platter. You've got to claim it for yourself. That's why this moment is so powerful. It's a reminder that you already have everything you need to take that next step. The courage, it's in you. The strength, it's been there all along. The wisdom, you're gaining it with every single experience you go through. Think about how far you've come already. Seriously. Think about the battles you've fought, the lessons you've learned, the storms you've weathered. You've survived things you once thought would break you. You've found light in the darkest moments. And here's the beautiful part. That same strength that got you through those moments, it's still with you. It always will be. So, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let this moment pass you by? Dismiss it as just another video, another voice in the sea of noise? Or are you going to grab hold of it, let it ignite something in you, and use it as a catalyst for change? Because here's the thing, the choice is yours. It's always been yours. And that's the most empowering part of all. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. You don't have to take a giant leap or make a drastic change overnight. Sometimes all it takes is a single step. A small shift in mindset, a decision to try, a moment of saying, I'm ready, and then another step, and another, until suddenly you realize you've been moving forward all along. So if you're feeling that pull, that nudge, that whisper telling you to pay attention, don't ignore it, lean into it, embrace it. Because moments like this don't come around by accident. They come when you need them most, even if you don't realize it at first. Have you ever felt like you're standing on the edge of something big, something you can't quite put into words, like a change, a breakthrough, or an opportunity is just within reach, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself? That's where you are right now. And I need you to hear this. You're not imagining it. This is real. Life has a rhythm, a timing, a way of orchestrating events that often feels beyond our comprehension. The things you've been working toward, the dreams you've been nurturing, the challenges you've been enduring, they're all part of this divine setup, leading you to a moment that's about to change everything. But here's the thing about those moments. They don't always come wrapped in shiny paper, screaming, "Here I am." Sometimes they arrive quietly, disguised as ordinary days. Sometimes they feel like a whisper in your heart, a sense that something's shifting, even if you can't see it yet. That's what makes this so powerful. Right now, even if everything feels uncertain, even if you're doubting whether anything will ever change, the truth is that your breakthrough is already in motion. Let's step back for a second. Think about the times in your life when things seemed impossible. Maybe you've been there, struggling, waiting, wondering if anything would ever go your way. And then, out of nowhere, something happened. A door opened, an opportunity appeared. A chance encounter changed your path. Those moments weren't random. They were part of your journey, perfectly timed to bring you exactly what you needed when you were ready for it. That's what's happening right now. The energy, the effort, the hope you've been putting out into the world, it hasn't been wasted. Even on the days when it felt like nothing was happening, like your prayers were going unanswered or your efforts were in vain, things were moving beneath the surface. You may not have seen it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't real. Growth happens in the unseen, just like seeds germinating in the soil before they break through to the light. And now, here you are, standing on the cusp of something extraordinary. Can you feel it? That quiet anticipation, that sense that something is stirring. It's no coincidence that you're feeling this now. It's no coincidence that you're here, hearing these words, right in this moment. This is your reminder that the moment you've been waiting for, the moment you've prayed for, dreamed of, maybe even cried over, it's on its way. Not in some far-off, distant future, but here, now, in divine timing. But let's talk about timing for a second. Because, let's face it, waiting isn't easy. It's hard to hold on when you can't see the full picture. It's hard to trust when all you have are pieces of a puzzle that don't seem to fit yet. But here's the truth. Divine timing doesn't operate on our schedule. It doesn't rush or delay. It's precise, intentional, and always, always perfect. Think of it like this. Imagine a symphony. Every note, every instrument, every moment of silence has its place. If one instrument plays too soon or too late, the whole piece loses its magic. But when everything comes together at the right time, it creates something breathtaking. That's what your life is, an intricate symphony. And right now, the conductor, the universe, is preparing to cue the next part of your song. So, what does that mean for you? It means you don't have to force anything. You don't have to push or chase or exhaust yourself trying to make things happen before their time. Instead, you're being called to trust, to let go of the need to control every detail and allow things to unfold as they're meant to. Because when you trust the process, when you lean into faith, you create space for the magic to happen. And here's the best part. You don't have to wait passively. Trusting the timing doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means showing up as your best self, putting in the work, staying open to possibilities, and believing that everything is aligning in your favor. It means preparing yourself for the moment when the doors swing open so you can step through with confidence and clarity. Think about what that looks like for you. Maybe it's taking a step toward a goal you've been putting off. Maybe it's letting go of something that no longer serves you, clearing the space for something better. Or maybe it's as simple as reminding yourself every day that you are worthy of the life you desire. Because you are worthy, you are enough, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. So, here's my challenge to you. Lean into this moment. Embrace it. Let it remind you that nothing is random, nothing is wasted, and nothing is impossible. Your breakthrough is coming. It's closer than you think. And when it arrives, you'll see that everything you've been through, the highs, the lows, the waiting, it all led you here, to this, to the moment you've been waiting for. Have you ever had the feeling that something is shifting inside you, like a quiet, almost imperceptible change that you can't fully explain? Maybe you've been feeling restless lately, like the life you're living no longer fits who you are becoming. Or maybe you've noticed strange coincidences, things lining up in ways that feel too precise to be chance. If any of this sounds familiar, it's not just your imagination. These are often the signs of a spiritual awakening, a divine encounter that's drawing closer. Let's start with that restlessness. You know, that uneasy feeling that something isn't quite right. It's like wearing a pair of shoes that no longer fit. They used to be comfortable, but now they pinch and rub, making it impossible to walk the same way you always have. Restlessness often shows up when you're being called to grow beyond the life you've outgrown. It's not a punishment or a problem. It's an invitation. The universe is nudging you, saying, "You're ready for more. You're ready for change." But that restlessness doesn't always come with clear instructions, does it? It can feel frustrating, even overwhelming, because it challenges the familiar. And yet, deep down, you know it's time. You can't stay where you are, not if you want to align with the path you're meant to walk. Then there's intuition, that quiet inner voice that seems to know things before you do. Maybe you've started noticing it more. You get a feeling about someone or something, and later it's proven true. Or maybe you've found yourself drawn to certain places, people, or ideas without fully understanding why. Intuition is like a compass for the soul. When you're on the brink of a spiritual awakening, that compass starts pointing more clearly toward your true north. And let's talk about synchronicities, those moments that feel too perfectly timed to be coincidences. Maybe you've been thinking about someone, and they suddenly call or text you. Maybe you've been asking for guidance, and you stumble upon a book, a conversation, or even a video like this one that feels like it was meant just for you. These are not random. They're signs that you're in tune with something greater than yourself. Think about it. Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems to fall into place effortlessly? Or maybe you've been seeing repeating numbers, 111, 222-333, or symbols that keep showing up in your life. These are the breadcrumbs, little winks from the universe to let you know you're on the right path. They're a way of saying, pay attention. Something important is happening here. And then there are the internal shifts, those moments when you suddenly see the world differently. Maybe things that used to bother you no longer have the same grip on your emotions. Or perhaps you've started questioning beliefs you once held tightly, opening yourself up to new perspectives. These shifts can feel disorienting at first, almost like you're losing parts of yourself. But the truth is, you're not losing anything. You're shedding what no longer serves you. Think of it like clearing out an old, cluttered closet. At first it's messy. There's stuff everywhere, and you might feel overwhelmed by the task in front of you. But as you start sorting through it, letting go of what you no longer need, you make space for something new. That's what these internal shifts are all about, creating room for growth, for transformation, for the next version of you. And here's the most beautiful part of all. You don't have to have all the answers right now. Recognizing these signs is enough. It's like hearing the first notes of a song you've never heard before, soft, faint, but unmistakably beautiful. You don't need to know how the entire melody will unfold to appreciate the moment you're in right now. So, if you've been feeling restless, if your intuition has been louder than usual, if synchronicities have been showing up in your life, or if you've noticed subtle shifts within yourself, take heart. These are signs that you're on the verge of something extraordinary. You're being invited into a deeper connection with yourself, with others, and with the divine. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a calling, and all you have to do is listen. Listen to the signs, trust the process, and allow yourself to step into the new chapter that's waiting for you. Letting go. It's one of the hardest things we're ever asked to do, isn't it? There's this comfort in holding on to what's familiar, what feels safe, or what we think defines us. But here's the paradox. The tighter we cling to the things that no longer serve us, the harder it becomes to receive the things that are meant for us. Letting go isn't about losing, it's about creating space. Space for growth, space for blessings, space for a life that aligns with who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Think about it. Have you ever cleaned out your closet or your home, clearing out old clothes, books, or even furniture? At first it's hard, isn't it? You might pick up an old jacket and think, what if I need this someday? Or find yourself attached to something just because you've had it for so long. But once you finally let it go, once you create that space, it feels freeing, it feels lighter, and suddenly there's room for something new, something better to come into your life. The same is true for your beliefs, your habits, and even your relationships. Holding on to something out of fear or familiarity keeps you stuck. It's like trying to carry a heavy backpack while climbing a mountain. Every step becomes harder, more exhausting, and you can't climb as high as you're meant to. But when you start letting go of the weight, those beliefs that limit you, those habits that drain you, those relationships that no longer uplift you, you free yourself to climb higher, to see farther, to step into what's waiting for you at the top. Let's talk about old beliefs for a moment. Maybe you've been holding on to the idea that you're not good enough, that success is only for other people, or that it's too late for you to start fresh. These beliefs can feel so real, so ingrained, that we don't even question them. But here's the truth. Those beliefs are not facts, they're stories. Stories you've told yourself, or that someone else told you along the way. And just like any story, they can be rewritten. But to rewrite the story, you have to release the old version. You have to let go of the belief that says, I can't, and replace it with, I can. Let go of the thought that says, I don't deserve this, and embrace, I am worthy. It's not always easy, I know. Sometimes those old beliefs feel like old friends. They've been with you for so long, they almost feel comforting in their familiarity. But holding on to them only keeps you in the same chapter, unable to move forward into the story you were meant to live. And then there are the habits, the routines and behaviors we fall into without even realizing it. Maybe it's staying in your comfort zone, avoiding risks because it feels safer not to try. Or maybe it's the habit of comparing yourself to others, constantly measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. These habits might feel like they're protecting you, but in reality, they're keeping you from reaching your full potential. Letting go of these habits is like pruning a tree, cutting away what no longer serves you so you can grow stronger, taller, and more vibrant than ever before. Of course, sometimes it's not just beliefs or habits, it's people. This might be the hardest part of all. There are relationships we hold on to because we feel obligated, or because we're afraid of being alone, or because we've invested so much time in them that letting go feels like failure. But not every relationship is meant to last forever. Some people are only in our lives for a season, to teach us something, to help us grow, and that's okay. Letting go of a relationship that no longer aligns with your journey isn't an act of cruelty or selfishness. It's an act of love. Love for yourself and for the other person, allowing both of you the freedom to grow in the ways you're meant to. Here's a relatable example. Think about a friendship that started in high school or college. At one point, that relationship might have been everything to you. But as the years passed, you changed. Your priorities shifted, your interests evolved, and maybe that friendship started to feel more like a memory than a meaningful connection. Letting go of that friendship doesn't mean you're erasing the good times or devaluing what it once meant to you. It simply means recognizing that it's okay for things to change. It's okay to move forward, and moving forward is the whole point. When you let go, you're not losing. You're making room. Room for new opportunities, new connections, new experiences that are aligned with who you are now. Think of it as trading an old, worn-out key for one that opens a brand new door. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to that's holding you back? What beliefs, habits, or relationships have you outgrown? And what would your life look like if you let them go? Because here's the truth. When you let go, you're not just creating space, you're creating possibility. You're opening the door for blessings you can't even imagine yet. And those blessings, they're waiting for you. All you have to do is make room. What does it mean to be chosen? It's a question that at first might feel daunting, even overwhelming. After all, being chosen sounds like a massive responsibility, and it is. But here's the beautiful truth. It's also one of the greatest blessings you'll ever receive. To be chosen doesn't mean you're better than anyone else, or that life will suddenly be smooth and easy. It means you have been called to something greater. It means that out of all the billions of people in this world, there is something unique about you, something the world needs, something only you can offer. It's not about perfection. It's about purpose. Think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever noticed how certain qualities, strengths, or talents seem to come naturally to you? Maybe you have a gift for connecting with others, for making people feel seen and heard. Maybe you're creative in ways that inspire and uplift those around you. Or perhaps you've faced challenges that taught you resilience, compassion, or wisdom. These aren't accidents. These are clues to your purpose, to why you've been chosen. Being chosen also means recognizing the potential within yourself, even when it feels hidden. It means seeing past your insecurities and doubts, to understand that you are equipped for the path you're being called to walk. You may not feel ready, and that's okay. Most of us don't. But readiness isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to say yes, to take the first step, to trust that everything you need will be revealed along the way. And here's the thing, being chosen doesn't mean the journey will be easy. In fact, it often means the opposite. You might face obstacles, challenges, even moments of doubt that make you question everything. But those moments are part of the process. They're refining you, strengthening you, preparing you for what's ahead. Because being chosen isn't just about what you can achieve, it's about who you become in the process. So when you feel that nudge in your heart, that quiet whisper telling you that you're meant for more, don't ignore it. Lean into it. Trust that you have been chosen for a reason, even if you can't see the whole picture yet. Because being chosen isn't just a responsibility. It's a reminder that you are deeply loved, deeply valued, and deeply capable of making a difference. But how do you step into that calling? How do you align yourself with the divine plan for your life? The answer lies in spiritual alignment, a process of tuning into your purpose, your power, and the guidance that's always available to you. And here's the good news. You don't need anything fancy or complicated to get started. All it takes are small, intentional steps that bring you closer to the divine. One of the most powerful ways to align spiritually is through meditation. Now, don't overthink it. Meditation doesn't have to mean sitting in perfect silence for hours. It's simply about creating space to listen. Maybe it's 5 minutes in the morning, sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. Or maybe it's taking a walk in nature, letting the stillness around you quiet the noise within. When you meditate, you're opening yourself to divine wisdom, allowing insights and guidance to flow naturally. Another way to align is through prayer. But let's shift how we think about prayer for a moment. Prayer isn't just about asking for things, it's about connection. It's about having a conversation with the divine, expressing gratitude, seeking clarity, and opening your heart. You don't need perfect words. You don't even need words at all. Sometimes the deepest prayers are the ones that come from a place of pure emotion, tears, joy, or even silence. Journaling is another powerful tool for alignment. There's something transformative about putting pen to paper, letting your thoughts and feelings flow without judgment. Use your journal to reflect, to ask questions, to dream. Write about what you're grateful for, what's weighing on your heart, and what you're hoping for. And don't be afraid to write directly to the divine. You might be surprised at the answers and clarity that emerge when you take the time to listen on paper. Self-reflection is also key to spiritual alignment. This means taking a step back and looking at your life with honesty and compassion. What's working? What's not? Where are you holding on to things that no longer serve you? Where can you invite in more love, more grace, more purpose? Self-reflection isn't about beating yourself up. It's about understanding yourself on a deeper level so you can align with the life you're meant to live. And here's the most important part. Alignment isn't about perfection. It's not about doing all the right things or following some rigid set of rules. It's about intention. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about creating a relationship with the divine that's personal, meaningful, and real. The process of spiritual alignment is a journey, not a destination. Some days it will feel effortless, like you're completely in tune with the universe. Other days it might feel like you're struggling to find your footing. That's okay. The key is to keep showing up, to keep listening, trusting, and aligning yourself with the purpose and calling that's uniquely yours. Because when you align spiritually, you're not just connecting with the divine, you're connecting with the deepest, truest version of yourself. And that connection, that's where the magic happens. As you begin to awaken spiritually, one of the most profound shifts you'll experience is learning how to live in two realms, the spiritual and the physical. It's like suddenly becoming aware that there's a deeper layer to everything, the emotions, the thoughts, the energy all around you, while still living your day-to-day life. You might notice how the clarity you feel in your spiritual practice doesn't always align with the demands of the physical world. On one hand, you're being called to meditate, reflect, and nurture your soul. On the other hand, there are bills to pay, relationships to manage, and responsibilities that don't always allow you the space to pause and reflect. It's a delicate balancing act, one that requires patience and intention. But here's the thing, it's not about choosing one realm over the other. Spiritual awakening doesn't mean you have to escape the physical world. It means learning how to navigate both with purpose. Take a moment and think about your own life. Maybe you've had moments of deep spiritual clarity where everything felt connected and aligned. Then you turn around and find yourself facing a stressful work situation, an unexpected problem, or a personal challenge that seems to pull you out of that peace. It can be disorienting, and you might even wonder, how do I reconcile these two worlds? The key lies in integration. Your spiritual insights and practices are not meant to exist in isolation. They're meant to enrich your daily life, to infuse your actions and choices with more intention, more awareness, and more love. For example, when you face challenges in your physical world, can you respond with the same grace, patience, and clarity that you receive in your spiritual practice? When you're dealing with a busy day, can you take a few moments to reconnect with your breath, to center yourself in the midst of the chaos? It's not always easy, but it's possible, and with time, you'll learn to navigate between the two realms. You'll begin to recognize that the physical world is just as sacred as the spiritual world, that every interaction, every task, every moment carries an opportunity for growth, love, and connection. Living in two realms is a journey of integration, of embodying your spiritual truths in your physical life. It's about being present, mindful, and open to the guidance of your soul while taking practical action in the world. You don't have to leave one behind to honor the other. Instead, honor both by finding harmony in the way you live. So, what now? What do you do with all of this newfound clarity, this transformation that's unfolding within you? The answer is simple. Step boldly into your divine purpose. I know that might sound like a big leap, but the truth is, the first step doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be taken. You've been called, you've been chosen, and now it's time to embrace the path that's unfolding before you with courage and trust. Imagine for a moment what your life could look like if you stopped waiting for the perfect time or the perfect moment. What if you let go of the fear, the doubts, and the uncertainty, and simply moved forward with faith? What if you chose to trust in the divine timing of your journey, knowing that every step you take is leading you toward your purpose? That's what faith looks like. It's not about having all the answers right away. It's about trusting that the answers will come as you move forward. It's about taking action, even when the full picture isn't clear. I want to encourage you right now to embrace your transformation. Embrace it with open arms and an open heart. You are being called to something incredible, something greater than you can imagine. And while the path may have its challenges, it will also have its rewards. You will grow in ways you never thought possible. You will become the person you've always been meant to be. So, step boldly. Step with the confidence that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you're meant to do. The unknown might seem intimidating, but remember, it's in the unknown that the magic happens. It's in the leap of faith that new doors open, new possibilities unfold, and your divine purpose becomes clearer with every step. Don't wait for permission to live your truth. You've already been chosen. Now is the time to show up, to rise, to claim your purpose with courage, with faith, and with the unshakable belief that the universe is aligning to support you. The world needs you, your light, your wisdom, your gifts. They are exactly what this world is waiting for. So don't hold back. Step boldly into your purpose and watch as the world opens up to you in ways you've never dreamed of.